Hello, my dears. This is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com back again with another moment for chronic wellness. Thank you for joining me here. I'm continuing to talk about chronic illness and long-term relationships. And again, I want to emphasize what a privilege and blessing it is to be one of the lucky, unlucky of those of us who are stuck with the circumstance of chronic illness, but blessed with a healthy and loving long-term relationship. So here I am speaking about some of the ins and outs of that. And I was talking this last week with a dear friend of mine who is in a similar circumstance and has had an uptick in her chronic pain to the tune of she was writhing around in pain last week. Just the inescapable, head-splitting, world-altering kind of pain that if you've experienced it, I'm sorry you have, but you can appreciate how inordinately distressing and how no escape is so terrorizing, the thought of this pain continuing. And she found herself once again in those moments of most extreme pain, wishing for release, wishing that she could find peace in death and just escape this world of ongoing pain and sorrow and heartache and hardship and distress. And she is not alone. Many of you who are watching understand that sentiment, and whether or not you have actively sought out suicide or, like she was, have just passively wished for it to come like a thief in the night, can relate to this desire. And why this relates to our conversation about long-term relationships is that it is hard to not imagine that after we have passed, after our spouses and partners have grieved our loss, while grief is also ongoing, but grieve the immediacy of our loss, it's hard to not imagine that we would be freeing them from this life of being bound to us, of being bound to our care, of being limited and hemmed in and curtailed by the commitments and promises they've made to us, by the care that they are constantly giving to us, by the ways in which their lives are more limited because our lives are so limited. And that adds to the burden of grief and guilt and sorrow and hardship. It's a tough one to sit with, and yet we sit with it all the time. Sound off. Tell me how you sit with this one. I'm eager to know, and I'm grateful for your time and attention. Till we're together again, I hope you are finding ways to tend to your spirit and be well.